since we spoke last week. What's up? What has happened in our little industry?
Oh, well, as always, a couple of different things. If you want to share my screen, the first one that I came across is it is in fact mid to late September, and that means a new service release for Intune. Couple of things to point out, or I think that are worth mentioning. Where'd it go? So, of course, we have new iOS, new iPad OS, new Mac OS, and with every one of those annual releases comes new improvements in Intune. So, if you are managing those devices, recommend checking out what is added in here, as well as some new settings for Android as well. If you are using Copilot in Intune, there were a couple of updates in there, some new prompts and things like that that came across. But this one I wanted to point out more of just an FYI. The Resource Explorer, meaning the Intune Resource Explorer, not as the note mentions down here, the Resource Explorer from Config Manager, if you're using Tenant Attach, Resource Explorer in Intune has now been renamed to Device Inventory. It's the exact same information and everything, but I thought that was worth pointing out. It is a little bit less confusing now, depending on which Resource Explorer you're trying to access. And then again, a couple of different improvements on the iOS and Mac OS side. There are now minimum requirements for Intune, I think we mentioned last week, and a new security baseline update experience, which is nice. So a couple of different things going on there. Also came across this post from Microsoft, a deep dive into Windows Autopilot device preparation, or as many of you may have seen it called in the community, Autopilot V2. The Autopilot device preparation is the actual name for it, and basically how to deploy it, when to use it, as the title suggests. So this post goes through some nice bullet points on some of the benefits, what the differences are between the two, and I thought that there was a nice slide here that just showed the device preparation flow, basically what this looks like on the device. So I think this is worth sharing as well. And it did show at the bottom here a couple of common issues that you may run into, and some best practices. I think for mine and Johan's side, we're still mostly seeing folks using Windows Autopilot and not device preparation. That's not to say you shouldn't try it out or test it in the lab or anything. But happy to see that we're getting some updates here. So we'll share this blog post this evening as well. Still getting through this, but I saw it shared several times over the last week. So, Johan, if you happened to have 5 minutes to digest this, please feel free to chime in. But the default compliance policy changed, basically the way that it works. And Rudy over at Patch My PC did a very nice blog post around this. As I said, still kind of getting through this blog post myself, but wanted to make sure I get it out there. So if there's something that you're noticing different in your tenants or in your environment, how this thing is being checked, there are some resources out there that talk about what's going on. So I was hoping maybe we could find out together what the actual experience looks like. I know for a lot of folks, what we see, especially in labs, if you're not using a compliance policy, this one will usually show as failed. So that's kind of what I was looking for, to see if it was different. But anyways, we'll digest this and probably come back to it next week anyways. But it was important enough, I wanted to get it out there. And then just a couple of, I thought were interesting updates. Johan, I'm sorry to share this news with you. WMI command line is going to be removed with Windows 11 25H2. Sorry to say.
I almost thought it was gone already, but I'm not too particularly worried about that one.
I did love in the timeline here. It has been deprecated for nearly a decade. So, yes, that is going away in the next feature update. And last but not least, this isn't really systems management or anything, but for those of you that are using OneNote, you've probably come across this challenge here over the last while you've used it. And pasting text only is coming to OneNote. So your typical Control-Shift-V is going to work just fine on the OneNote side of things. So I wanted to reshare that as well. A couple of fun updates there at the end. But that's what I came across.
All right. Let me steal the screen then. Let's see if I can make this work. The first one, I wouldn't say it's any news. It's a total sidebar, but it sure made my morning, and I needed that. I was up working late with a customer project, and I just needed a laugh, and this was pretty much it. See if I can get that away so we can see it clearly. I thought that was a solid tip.
That's a good one.
Starting with a run so the day cannot possibly be any worse.
Love it.
I love it. Yeah. All right. Back to our normal news. Mr. Niehaus, he released a new version of his branding kit. I don't think you mentioned that, right?
No, we did not.
No. So this is a kit that's been gone through multiple version releases, but if you go over to the GitHub, you get more details about the actual release and what's been fixed there, and then we have, of course, had the full changelog going back. But this is a good solution that, and basically an app you add to Autopilot flow, and it will take care of a lot of the branding. And you can toggle these on and off in the script there. So I thought I should mention that. Then I could have sworn I have bookmarked this for last week's office hours, but I couldn't find it in our link collection, nor our emails in between, so I'll share it now. Sysinternals have a couple of updates. Zoomit and some other utilities are there, and there is this little see what's new, get to the gory details around this one. So figured I should share that. Then on the security side of things, I stumbled across a remarkably good read. It's not a short read, but it's a good read. And it's basically a long article around what a real-world Active Directory compromise could look like. So if you're feeling brave, check this one out. That was interesting to read, to say the least. And speaking of security, I saw a notification that GitHub is strengthening their security around updates for packages that are shared with, other modules and whatnot, because obviously if your code is referencing someone else's code and that someone else's code get compromised, congratulations, you are compromised. So it sounds good. Great that they are doing these improvements. And finally, for those of you who haven't signed up for Microsoft Ignite just yet, the sessions catalog, I got an email that was published earlier this week. So sign up for it either in person, that has a price to it, or you can do it online and then it's free. So highly recommend that one. Still bummed that I'm not in Chicago again. That would be nice.
Yes.
Here we are. So that's all I had in terms of news.
I just thought of one thing that would at least, I think, be worth mentioning. I would be shocked if you did not come across this over the last week, Johan. The story about the Perfect 10 CVE on Entra that has been patched.
I saw that one. I was basically a researcher finding out that if before the fix was applied, if you crafted a token in tenant 1, you can use that to access tenant 2. Probably not ideal.
No. And it was some undocumented token type that you shouldn't be able to grab. And it was, not only did you have access, you had full access. So I'm very glad that it was reported patched before everyone knew about it. But yeah,
I happen to have a link to it. I remember retweeting it.
There's a whole bunch. I did just come across a Wired article on it. I'm not sure which one to specifically share, but yes, I'll share the Wired article. And if I find one that actually, this might be the I found the original post. Yes,
there you go. All right, do you have it on your screen?
I do.
All right.
And this was exactly what I recalled. An undocumented impersonation token called an actor token that's supposed to be used for back-end communication. I could basically generate that, as I understand it.
So basically God mode in every tenant ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad they fixed that one. That sounds like a good security update.
It's not every day we see a 10 rated CVE, which is a good thing. I think I would have a lot more gray hair if we saw perfect 10 CVEs often.
I can just imagine if the wrong person was the one that figured it out.
Yeah.
Glad that there are folks with a decent common sense and responsibility to.
Yeah. And if you look here, it does look like they patched it pretty quickly after reporting. So
I would bet, yeah. Like, whoops.
Yeah. Imagine being the first person that saw that report. Rough day.
I need to go talk to my manager right now.
Exactly.
Whatever you're doing, stop doing it to focus on this.
Exactly.